Hey, I am doing a really simple recipe because I'm not going to lie to you, it's Friday. I'm filming this on a Friday morning. I'm quite hungover. It's been my birthday this week, so woo! Yeah. So I'm going to do a really basic but delicious recipe today from one of my very favourite recipe books, which is just incredibly nostalgic. I've had this since I was really little, and it's a Winnie the Pooh recipe book for children. So that's the level that I'm at today. Obviously, I am in my 30s. So the recipe that I have decided to do is cheese scones. I've even gone a bit themed with the Winnie the Pooh. First things first, preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius. I have a fan oven, and as I've said before, my oven runs quite hot, so I've put mine to 200. In this bowl, I have got 200 grams of self-raising flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a pinch of salt. Don't forget the salt. And I'm going to sieve it into my bowl. And then just push that in because the baking powder is a little bit lumpy. It's also very warm in here today. Okay, and then I have chopped up into cubes 50 grams of butter. It doesn't specify whether it's unsalted or salted, but general rule of thumb with baking, I always use unsalted unless the recipe states salted. So put that in, and then all you need to do is gently rub the butter through the flour with your fingertips until it kind of resembles breadcrumbs. So this is kind of how you start pastry as well. I will do pastry at some point. If you have any requests, as usual, please let me know because I'm happy to accommodate. But yeah, I love these cheese scones. They're not, and again, you can kind of do what you want with them. They're not, the recipe doesn't say to cut them out into circles. It's quite a basic recipe actually. And you can use whatever cheese you like. I've got some extreme cheddar. Extreme! Because I love cheese, and I think if you're going to have cheese in something, make it cheesy. Okay, so that actually was really quick. And you literally just do this with the butter and the flour until I'm going to hold it up for you. Until it sort of looks like breadcrumbs. And then what we're going to do is so this is where the cheese comes in. The recipe says 50 grams of cheese. If you want to follow the recipe to a T, you do that. I've put 75 because, again, I think if you're going to put cheese in something, you go cheesy. I've just got 75 grams of grated cheddar. So we're going to put that in and then just give it a little mix around with a fork just to intersperse the cheese. This is how simple this recipe is, guys. Finally, I've got 1 egg in here, and then I've made up the level to 125 millilitres with milk. So it ends up being about 5 tablespoons of milk, but put the egg in first and then fill up with milk until you get to 125 mils. I'm just going to whisk that together and then make a little well in the centre of your mix and just pour it in. And then again, just use your fork there to bring it to a dough. I've forgotten quite an important part. This again is not part of the recipe, but because these are so simple, I figured that I would add one more thing. And I've just fried off 2 they were big fat spring onions, so if you've got little ones, maybe do 3. I've just gently fried some spring onions chopped up with a tiny bit of butter, and I'm going to add those in as well. Because add some veg. Now they're healthy. Ish. With all of these things, you can just cater it to what you like. There are no strict rules. It's your kitchen, you're eating it, so you do you. And then all we have to do is just flour the work surface, and we're going to pour it out, get all of that mix out. Now this is where it's different to a bread. With scones, you really don't want to work them too much. All we're doing now is quite actually like this. All we're doing is just giving it a really short knead, just to bring it together. And it's quite sticky. I think I've put too much milk in mine. So that's all you need to do with it. And then let's get that all in there. Take a rolling pin. Just cover that with a little bit of flour. We're just going to roll it out into a circle about 1 centimetre thick. You don't want it too thin because then the dough struggles to rise. So just a little circle. I think that will probably do it. And then if you want to use a circular cutter, you are more than welcome to at this point. As I said, this recipe is so simple, and all it asks you to do is to cut this dough into quarters, like so, and then each piece again. So they're actually triangular scones. And then all we need to do is dust a baking tray with some more flour. Just give it a dust, you don't need to grease it. And then arrange them neatly on here. Give them a bit of space because they'll grow. Actually, I might need to do 2. Again, there's quite a lot of flour. Again, just dust those again with flour and then pop them into the oven for 12 minutes. They're out the oven! I don't know why that's so exciting. It just is. Cheese scones are delish. So, what? They've puffed up really nicely. They've got lovely bits of like crispy cheese on them. It's very exciting. So, all you need to do now, while they're still warm, is grab some butter, slice one in half, and go to town. But I might just, oh God, I'm just gonna take that little end off.